What's up guys and welcome to this tutorial. Recently I did one of the tutorial on how to trigger email notification on S3 events via Lambda function. So basically this tutorial is the extension of the same, right? So you can find the link of the previous tutorial in the video description below. So in this tutorial I'm going to show you that how we can attach the file that is being uploaded in the S3 bucket in an email and send it to the XYZ user using SES and Lambda function service, right? So in the earlier tutorial we had set the event on S3 for notification, also created the IAM role, created the Lambda function, and we had also set up the SES like verifying an email address, right? So please refer to the earlier tutorial for setting these things up. Since I'm not going to cover those things again here, right? So link is mentioned in the video description below. So moving along, so in this tutorial we are only going to edit our Lambda function that we have created in the earlier tutorial. So that is this one, that is s3 underscore ses underscore event, right? So since we are going to edit this code, I will just copy and paste this code in the Sublime text editor, right? So it will be a bit hard to edit over there, right? So here we are going to use one more package or library that is email, which comes inbuilt with Python, right? So we are going to use three MIME classes or the class from the email package, right? So that is I will remove JSON since we don't require it. We require Boto3 and then we require email, that is from email dot mime dot multipart import mime multipart. Another is from email dot mime dot text import mime text, and the third one is from email dot mime dot application import mime application, right? So basically what is mime? So I'll just touch a bit upon it. So mime is multi-purpose internet mail extension, right? Basically it is an internet standard that extend the format of email to support text character set, so which is basically non-ASCII or maybe which is other than ASCII, right? It also helps us with non-text attachment like audio, video, images, right? And it also equip us or the equip the email with message borders with multiple parts, right? So that was a quick I will say a definition or the intro of MIME, right? So moving along, so as I said, we are going to use three class from email package. So I will touch a bit upon each of the classes while we define this, right? So this code is from the previous tutorial, right? So I will just comment this code out. I will keep this for loop and client as it is, right? So I will just cut this line and paste it above the for loop, right? It looks good. So here we are going to use uh, two services via Boto3, that is one is SCS itself and one is S3, right? Why S3? Because we need to read the content of the file that we want to attach in the email, right? So I will say SES instead of client, and S3 equal to Boto3 dot client and S3, right? So here we are getting few things, right? Like bucket name and the file name that is being uploaded in the S3, right? So once we have bucket name and file name, we can read the content of the file from S3 bucket, right? So I have demoed this in the one of the tutorial on how to read file from S3 bucket via Lambda function, right? So I'll be using the same lines or the same line of code for reading the file from S3 bucket, right? So I will say file object equal to s3 dot get underscore object followed by the two parameters, that is bucket equal to, so here we are getting bucket name. I'll just copy and paste it here, and the key, that is file name, that we are getting here, right? So once we get the file object, we will just simply fetch the content of the file, that is file underscore content equal to file object of body dot read, right? So we are not decoding this the content of the file, right, since we require the content in bytes, right? Because we need to pass the content in the form of bytes, right? So by default the read method will give us the bytes data, give the data in bytes, right, until and unless we decode this, right? So moving along, so we will define sender here. So as usual, I will just keep my email address, this chirag83@gmail.com. To whom I want to send, I will keep again the same, right? Then we require subject. I will just copy and paste this subject over here from the previous code, right? Then we will require body text, right? So we are going to use the same body text again. I'll just uncommand this, right? So I realize here is a spell mistake, email, right? So we have defined sender, we have defined to whom we want to send, we have defined subject, and then we have defined body, right? Now coming to the main part, using the three class that we have defined, right, one by one. So we will define a variable that is message equal to mime multipart, right? So here basically we are creating the multi-part container, right? Container in the sense we are going to add subject, from, to, all the data in this mime multi-part, right? So we will start with subject, right? It is subject. Oops, subject equal to our subject, right, that we have defined. Then from, that will be our sender, right? Then to, that will be our recipient. In our case it's to, right? And moving along, so our body is in HTML format, right? So uh, in the previous tutorial I had mentioned that we can define the body in two format, right? One is in simple text format and one is in HTML format, right? So right now it's in HTML format. So here we will be using mime text, right? So let me define it as body underscore text equal to mime text and our body and its type, followed by the another parameter, that is HTML, right? So in case if you are passing the plain text in the body, it will be plain instead of HTML, right? and if you are passing the body which is other than ASCII character set, right, then you need to encode this body like this, and basically UTF-8, right, UTF-8. So right now I'm not passing any other character set other than ASCII, right, so I will just keep it as it is, and moving along. Then now we are going to use the third class, that is MIME application. So I will say attachment here, right, followed by the MIME application. So basically it calls the constructor, it takes the parameter as the file data in bytes, right. So here already we have the content in bytes, right. So I'll just copy and paste it here. So in case for example the file is stored in temporary directory of Lambda function, and you want to use that file, right, so then what we need to do is, instead of file content, we'll just simply do open the file path. For example it's in temp, right, so I will just say temp file name dot txt, and we will do read in bytes, right, dot read. So this is how you can pass the file. So right now we will be using file content here. So once this is done, we need to define the header, right, so that will be attachment dot add underscore header, followed by the content disposition, right, another parameter will be attachment, and third parameter will be the file name, right, you can define whatever you want, and file name, file name equal to, I will say demo.txt, right. So this header basically tells the email client to treat this part as an attachment, right. So that's the reason we are defining this header, right. Now we have defined everything, so we will simply do message dot attach, that will be our body, right, in this case it's body txt. So as you know, we have defined subject from to already in this message, right, so the body text is missing, so we need to attach the body, and last but not least our attachment, right, so that will be our attachment, right. Now everything is defined. Now here in the previous tutorial we were using send underscore email method, right. So here we will be using send underscore raw underscore email instead of send underscore email, right. So I'll just delete this part, right. So I'll say response equal to, so it's not client, right, this time it's ses dot send underscore raw underscore email, right, followed by the source, that will be sender in our case, followed by destination, that will be the list of recipients, right. So right now we only have one recipient, that is 2, and third one is raw message, that will be a dictionary, followed by data colon message dot as underscore string, right? We are just converting the message into string, right? Nothing else. So I think we are done with the code, right? So I'll just copy this code and paste it back over here in this function. So I'm going to save this. So it is saved, right? So I will set test to, I think I created the event earlier, not sure. Okay, anyways, test. Oh, three on exception. What is it? We don't need to run this function from here, right? We need to upload the file in the S3 bucket. So we will go to S3, right? So that's why the event was also not created, because we had set up a trigger here, right? So it's layer hyphen release hyphen test, right? So here I'm going to upload a file, right? That is, for example, in my case, it's algo.txt, right? I'll just drag and drop, upload. So file is uploaded successfully. We will go ahead and check the logs of the Lambda function. So as usual, I'm going to check the email on my phone, but let's see the logs. Oh, it's taking a while to load. Let me check the email. So I think I had not received an email yet. So I think there is some error in the code, I believe. Oh, so sorry, I just did a spell mistake here. It should be destinations, not destination. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to re-upload the file again. So it's being uploaded. It's uploaded. Let's check the logs again. Okay, name JSON is not defined. Okay. Why is it saying name JSON is not defined? On which line? Oh, okay. Let me not pass this. Let me remove this. Return thanks. Save it. And I received the email successfully, right? So I did get an attachment, right? So I'll just share a screenshot at the end of the video of the email that I have received, right? So basically, this have one of the limitation that it should not exceed the total size of 10 MB. That includes message and the attachment, right? So this is the limitation. So if you are uploading a file larger than 10 MB, then it's not going to work, right? So well, that's it for now. So if you want me to do the tutorial on any specific service or use case you have, then please leave them in comment. and I will try my best to come up with the tutorial for the same, right? And as usual, if you have any queries or comments, then please leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.